Hello friends, I am Sunil Ranjan and I am an English teacher. Well, in this session I have come up with the poem The Tiger and the Deer by Aurobindo Ghose. So first telling you about Aurobindo Ghose. Sri Aurobindo was born on 15th August 1872. He was an Indian nationalist, philosopher, yogi, guru and poet. He joined the Indian freedom struggle against the British rule. He rose to become one of the important leaders of the Indian freedom struggle. He became a spiritual reformer and introduced his visions on human progress and spiritual evolution. He died on 5th December 1950. Now coming to the poem. So here the poem begins. Brilliant, crouching, slouching, what crept through the green heart of the forest, gleaming eyes and mighty chest, and soft, soundless paws of grandeur and murder? The explanation is, as the poem begins, the poet admires the movement of a tiger, the mighty and dangerous animal of the forest. The animal leaps through the green forest with its eyes brilliantly shining. It has a heavy, powerful chest. It moves its paws very softly when it reaches for its prey. Its soft and soundless movement indicates its majestic place in the animal kingdom, but at the same time, such a movement also points towards its deadly nature to kill other animals. Now, coming to the lines. The wind slipped through the leaves as if afraid, lest its voice and the noise of its steps perturb the pitiless splendor, hardly daring to breathe. The explanation is, the poet describes the arrival of the tiger by creating the response in the setting, by speaking about the wind that slips through the leaves, as if it too is scared of the arrival of the tiger. It fears that its blowing may be noticed by the mighty animal. The poet personifies the wind by telling about its quick withdrawal from the scene through the leaves. The wind is so afraid of the tiger that it breathes too with great difficulty, fearing its sound may reach the mighty animal. Now coming to the lines. But the great beast crouched and crept and crept and crouched a last time, noiseless, fatal. The explanation is, in these lines the poet speaks about the way the tiger bends its knees, lowers itself and moves ahead finally without making any sound. Finally, without making any sound, it leaps upon the weak deer and kills it. Now coming to the lines. Till suddenly death leaped on the beautiful wild deer as it drank, unsuspecting at the great pool in the forest's coolness and shadow. The explanation is, in these lines the poet speaks about the next move of the tiger that happens suddenly. A beautiful wild bear was drinking at a big pool in the cool shadow of the forest, unmindful of the cruel clutches of death getting closer to it. As it was drinking at the pool, the tiger leaped upon it. Now the lines. And it fell and torn, died remembering its mate, left soul in the deep woodland, destroyed the mild harmless beauty by the strong cruel beauty in nature. The explanation is, the helpless, beautiful wild deer fell and was torn to pieces by the tiger. The beautiful wild deer died while thinking about its mate, left alone in the deep forest somewhere. The tiger and the deer belonged to nature, the green forest, but one proved to be much more powerful than the other. The weak, wild, and beautiful deer was killed. Through these lines, the poet also comments on those who are very powerful and often tend to crush the weak all over the world. Now, coming to the lines. But a day may yet come when the tiger crouches and leaps no more in the dangerous heart of the forest, as the mammoth shakes no more the plains of Asia. Now the explanation. In these lines, the poet becomes optimistic by expressing his view that such wild and devilish attempts are not going to continue for long. Through the two animals of the forest, the tiger and the deer, the poet speaks about the powerful and the weak all over the world. He expresses his hope when he says that a day will come when the strong and powerful will not crush the weak. He says that in Asia there is no more such disturbance as it is in other continents of the world. Now the lines. Still, then shall be the beautiful wild deer drink from the coolness of great pools in the leaf shadow. The mighty perish in their might, the slain survive the slayer. Now, the explanation. In these final lines of the poem, the poet repeats what he said earlier, that the time will come when without any fear the beautiful wild deer will drink cool water from the big pools in the forest under the shadow of the trees. The powerful finally die, showing their power and strength, and the ones who are killed see them dying. Thus, through this poem, the poet makes a strong comment on human civilization. He says that in the human world, it is not the survival of the fittest that counts finally. He hopes that humans all over the world will realize that strength and violence point to animal behavior that cannot be accepted in civilized human society. It is important to believe in peace, harmony, kindness, and care for others. So here comes the end of the poem. And my dear friends, if you have subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you haven't, and if you choose to subscribe, I promise that I'll be coming up with nice and informative videos for you from time to time. And yes, I will keep my promise. Thank you.